Joining me from the Marine Corps League, the Commandant of the Blackstone Valley Detachment, Bill Audette. We're going to talk about a new toy drive program based on an old familiar one. Hi, Bill. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for coming down. A couple things I wanted to talk about with you. First of all, thank you for serving. Let me get that right
Thank
out.
you. I appreciate that.
And we appreciate you. But let's talk about the Marine Corps League, the Blackstone Valley Detachment. What do you guys do over there in Uxbridge? You're based out of Uxbridge, is that correct?
We're based out of the VFW in Uxbridge.
Okay.
It's a meeting location for us and a place to gather. The detachment's been around for a long time. I can't remember the exact year it was formed, but it's gone from one location to another, just trying to find a home for itself. And we do a lot for the Marines and a lot for the community. Right now, we're in the process of preparing for our annual toy drive, the Toys for Kids and Teens drive that we hold every single year. And that's been a big process for us. So we got a lot going on right now.
Okay. Toys for Tots, the Marines have always been involved with Toys for Tots, as we know it, Toys for Tots. How long was Toys for Tots involved with the detachment?
Oh, many years before I even got there. And I've been with the league now for probably seven or 8 years, and it's been there way before that.
Goes beyond that.
Goes beyond that.
And we have you in today because we are teaming up with Liz's Diamond Bar and Grill in Hopedale to do a toy drive on the 5th of December. We'll start about 7 o'clock. Entry is a toy. Last year, it was Toys for Tots. This year, Toys for Kids and Teens. Talk about why you guys made that transition. Why is it a new organization, and what does that entail?
Well, it's hard to describe, but it's the same organization. It's still run. Toys for Tots has always been run by the Marine Corps Reserves.
Okay.
And that's designated by the Commandant of the Marine Corps. And lately, the last several years, because of the activities overseas in the Mideast and everything, he's been asking the Marine Corps Leagues to take over more than the regular reserve units, because they're technically active now. Before they used to be like just a reserve unit, but now they're active. They're sent overseas just like a regular troop. So he asked us to take over. So what's happening is, under Toys for Tots, there's quite a few rules and regulations we have to follow.
Sure.
And one of them being that all the toys and money we might collect during the campaign, if it's left over at the end of the campaign, it has to be returned to Toys for Tots.
Okay.
So anything that you might donate to us for, like, say, the Blackstone Valley, which we represent, at the end of that term, we have to give it all back to the Toys for Tots state of Massachusetts.
Okay.
So we said to ourselves, we're collecting thousands of toys and not thousands of dollars, but we're collecting a good amount of money, and we want to keep it within the Blackstone Valley. So instead of giving it back to Toys for Tots, we wanted to keep it. In order to do that, we were advised by a member of the National Marine Corps League, change the title a little bit. Instead of Toys for Tots, change it to something so that that little piece of regulation you can kind of step aside from.
Right.
So we changed it to Toys for Kids and Teens. That way there, we get to keep all the toys people donate to us for the next year's campaign, which we store, including any money we might raise. And it's worked out. I mean, we've had no problem. People still question, say, what's this? And we say it's still technically Toys for Tots, but it's
still
not.
Marine run. It's still Toys for Tots.
Exactly.
But it's staying here in our community now.
It stays with us. I mean, we don't have to, like, now when we set up on the 29th of November, when we set everything up ready to go, our shelves will be stocked with toys left over from last year. Not as many, because we really run thin at the end of the year, but we'll have toys. We'll have money left over to get started right away.
Okay.
So it's worked out for us. It's worked out for the people, understand now why we do it, and it just works, and it's worked out great for us.
Some people make cash donations. That's acceptable as well?
Exactly, because, the title says Toys for Kids and Teens. So when we say teens, most people donate toys for children.
Sure.
Game boards and dolls and stuff like that. But there's nothing for that lower teenager, like the 13, 14-year-old, 15.
We're very hard to buy for.
Exactly. We try not to go above that, because then you get real expensive and people just don't want to buy that kind of toy. So we raise the money, and people give us money, and we send people out to buy those little electronic games or things that these teenagers might use. For the girls, maybe some perfume sets or some jewelry sets, things like that. So that's why the money's important to us.
Okay.
You know,
Because it's like you said, it's easy to go to Toys R Us and pick up a toy for a kid under 12, but then the teenagers, they're hard to buy for. So the cash donations are always welcome for toys for kids and teens.
I mean, and we get movie tickets. We get the money we collect. We went out last year and we bought gift certificates from Barnes and Noble. It's a great place. Kids like to hang out there. They get the coffee shop. They go in there, and not necessarily they're going to buy books.
Sure.
But it's a place for them to hang out instead of, a toy. So we do the gift certificates for like Barnes and Noble. We get tickets for the cinemas. We give them a couple of those for the
That's
teenagers.
a great idea, too.
Yeah, it
and
works
you can
out.
go to any like CVS or Walgreens, and they have that whole wall of gift cards that you can purchase. So you welcome those in as well? I mean,
of course,
that's
yes.
a great idea.
I have gift cards left over from last year.
Okay.
I hate to say that, but, it's towards the end. I was hoping
But you'll always use them.
We use them. We're going to use them, definitely.
Where do you store all the toys?
Well, that's another issue. Right now, we have them stored at the Quaker, the old Quaker Drive-In in Uxbridge. There's a self-storage there, and they've been letting us store the toys for free. But I guess there's something going on where they might want us to, find another location.
Sure.
So what we're trying to do, we're trying to find, and if anybody's listening, we're trying to find a container.
Okay.
Storage container, the kind you see on the back of the ships and everything.
Yep.
We're trying to find a 40-foot container that's in good shape so that we can store the toys in there at the end of the season.
Okay.
It's nice, airtight and watertight and that kind of thing.
Locked,
and,
good security, that kind of thing.
And we do the distribution center is at LW Welding in Uxbridge, and they've given us permission. They said, Bill, if you can get that 40-foot container, we'll put it on our lot for you, and you just keep the toys here.
Okay.
So that's what we're working on, trying to get a container, to store the toys, because I have a feeling this year we're going to have a lot more toys than we've had in the past.
Commandant of the Blackstone Valley Detachment, Bill Audette, is with me to talk about a new venture based on an old one, Toys for Tots. We all know Toys for Tots. And now to keep it local, we are Toys for Kids and Teens. You have a Facebook page. That's probably the easiest way to get in touch with you guys.
Yep. It's Toys for Kids and Teens.
Put that right in the search, and it pops right up.
Come right up.
Yeah, and then there's a website involved, too, so if you go through Facebook, you can find the website for the detachment and get more information. Any questions, they can contact you through there. Do you want to give out any more contact information?
We actually have a Gmail address. It's Toys for Kids and Teens at gmail.com.
Okay.
And they can contact us there. Or like I said, if they go to the Toys on Facebook site, they can certainly communicate with me from there. And people have been every day. Families are already asking, what time you're opening? Can I come down? Am I eligible? That kind of thing. And it's important people to know that, they have to have the proper ID, especially the parents. Grandparents aren't allowed to come down unless there's a problem at home with a father or the mother just can't, bedridden or something, they can't get out.
Sure.
They have to have proper proof of children.
Okay.
Because you wouldn't believe how many times we've been ripped off.
Oh, that's sad.
I tell you a small story. I had a family mother come in and with her daughter, and I was kind of warned ahead of time, be careful of this woman. So I says, okay. So she came in, and I said, hi, how you doing? She says, geez, can I get some toys? And I says, sure you can. I said, I need some ID. And she says, oh, my husband's got the proof of the children in his car, and he'll be right back. I says, okay, how many children do you have? She goes, I have 5 kids. I said, okay. So her husband came back. I went outside, and I met him, and I walked over to him and introduced myself. And I says, sir, how many children do you have? He said, well, I have 3. And I turned around and looked at her, and I says, you have 5, and he has 3. And so I said, no, I had to ask him to leave and not come back. But that happens. People will pick up toys, and they'll take them to Walmart and turn them in for the cash. Exchange. People will double dip. They'll come to our location, then they'll go to another Toys for Tots location and get more toys.
Yeah,
it's difficult. It's hard. We don't want to turn anybody away. We want to make sure that the kids have a great Christmas. But there are people out there that'll just do that. They'll try.
Always a couple bad apples.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
No doubt.
That's in anything we do in life.
And I try to tell the guys to relax a little bit. There's nothing we can do about it. Just if we catch them, we catch them. If we don't, hey, hopefully the kids will get the toys. Now,
in the past, being involved with Toys for Tots, one of the nice things was that there was always uniformed military there, Marine members of the Marine Corps. Will we be seeing that again this year with Toys for Kids and Teens?
Wherever anybody asks us to appear, if they want us to be at a certain location at Liz's or at someplace else they're doing a benefit for us, we show up in uniform.
Great.
The men will wear uniforms, shirts like this down at the site.
Yep.
Yeah, there's this, and the site. I just want everybody to know that it's all volunteer, and it's not just Marines at the distribution center. There's members of the Army down there, members of the Navy down there, Air Force. These are people that just want to come down and help us out. We're open 7 days a week, from like 8 in the morning till 5 at night.
Yep.
Right up to Christmas Eve.
And you said the 29th is when you open officially?
29th, we're going to open up officially that Sunday, yep.
Okay, and then on the 5th, we were at Liz's Diamond Bar and Grill, and we've got 2 great bands. My band, Toll Booth Willie, is playing, and Whiskey Church is playing. We're going to have raffles. We have the Christmas trees that are decorated by local musicians that will be raffled off as well, and just bring a toy, and cash too. Cash for the raffles, or if you just want to make a donation, and 1 toy gets you through the door. Bill, thank you very much. Pleasure meeting you.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
A post-conversation note, both organizations do wonderful things for our community. The main difference between Toys for Tots and Toys for Kids and Teens, Toys for Tots sends 1 toy out per child, and it might not even be a child in our local area. Toys for Kids and Teens allows families, local families, to come in and pick 4 toys for their child. Again, find them on Facebook, Toys for Kids and Teens.